Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Quant Network, aka QNT. So let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So first and foremost, I do just want to start with this tweet from the Quant Sloth on Twitter. You gotta love the name, right? But no, seriously, I do want to focus on this, image here that they did post. They're talking about in a league of its own QNT. Yesterday, I just talked to you guys about Quant and the major connections, right? The overall value proposition behind Quant. It really is a very special token. It is a very special mechanism. It's a very special operating system. The overall innovation behind Quant is very remarkable just because, for the longest time, there's always been the planned discussions and talks about how can we get crypto to the next life cycle. And what I mean by that is like, how do we go from, a market that is essentially offering incredible efficiencies around payments, payment gateways, transactional payment flows, and really kind of taking it to the next level. Well, the next level is not, it's crypto not being in a realm of itself. For the longest time, crypto has kind of played the role as the DeFi escape from traditional payment means sort of tech stack. But ultimately, as time went on, we kind of seen these projects popping up around this space, and it's like, okay, well, now we have these projects that could ultimately give a facelift to the legacy systems, that could give an opportunity moment for technological advancements to happen, not only within, healthcare and, these other little industries and, big market opportunities as well, but the entire monetary system. And I think that it is starting. We do see some of these names, and you do see like Oracle, Amazon, SIA, Hyperledger, LAC Chain, things like that. And these are not names that, are new. We know all of these names. But the focus here on all of these is what they are trying to do. For an example, Oracle, right? It brings its ambition vision for DLT interoperability into the Oracle global startup ecosystem. Amazon, this is Amazon Web Services. No, this is not Amazon themselves. Excuse me. They introduced blockchain interoperability to Amazon Web Services. SIA, interoperability in the financial world. DLT infrastructure provider Quant Network joins forces with high-tech leader SIA. Quant Network is collaborating with Hyperledger to advance cross-industry blockchain technology and enable universal interoperability. LAC Chain to enable an interoperable financial infrastructure for tokenized currencies and to improve social and financial inclusion across the LAC region. Do you understand what all of this really kind of means? I mean, at the end of the day, we always talk about interoperability. I mean, it is the focus point, right? It's the biggest obstacle to success around crypto. But ultimately, I would say the biggest selling point to Quant for me is just the idea that, like, listen, at the end of the day, everyone wants their token to make them X amount of dollars so that they can go and transfer it back into fiat. To me, Quant isn't that token. Quant is the token that is ultimately building the bridge for crypto to become the future of everything. I mean, we're seeing crypto kind of morph into this large giant that it has always been trying to become, but there's obstacles to the success of that. There's obstacles to break in order for crypto to be taken seriously. And that's it being utilized in a day-to-day process in the real-world application area. And we're getting there, but we need these bridges. We need these connections, and Quant is that key. I mean, it ultimately is unlocking crypto's potential. It is unlocking DLT to be utilized, in every sort of process possible. And I think that this is also starting with some of these companies that are, working with Quant. And shout out to Quamfi Novice on Twitter for this. But we do see it's a quote from this article, and this is talking about Oracle's Ellison pushes multi-cloud interoperability. Digs at Amazon Web Services' expensive price tag and hinted some of its large customers will move to OCI soon. And this is from Oracle with Amazon Web Services talking about how Amazon Web Services is very expensive, and a lot of the larger customers that are a part of Oracle, they do want to move, they want to save a lot more money, and Overledger is that choice. And we do see here the multi-cloud era, has begun, or sorry, I shouldn't say move over to Overledger. It's moving to OCI, but we all know that this is most likely going to be powered by Overledger anyways. And OCI is still pretty large in its self from Oracle, and Oracle is extremely exposed to Overledger anyways. But we do see the multi-cloud era has begun. Our job is to give our customers the ability to choose application and infrastructure technology from multiple clouds, and then have those different clouds coexist and interoperate gracefully. Sounds familiar? QNT. And yes, I do think that this is very familiar. I think that this is kind of playing a part in, where Overledger actually is sitting, and where Quant is positioned. And again, I kind of take you back to Oracle one last major time. I know that we've been talking about them for so long, but I want you to understand some of the names that are already tied to Oracle. And these are huge giants around the space. I mean, you look at some of these, and we are, no stranger to these to these companies, because they are, partnership. They have partnerships and connections to a lot of the tokens that we do talk about on a day-to-day basis. You look at like Accenture, Deloitte, IBM, Infosys, KPMG, PwC, and Wipro. Now, with KPMG, we know that there's most likely going to be a partnership with Quant in the future. It was on their website, and they since then did remove it. It was a little bit of a glitch with their new website design. I think that is something to continue to kind of, poke at. I think that it's fun to really kind of assume that there's going to be a partnership with them just because of that connection. But I think that we will see more partnerships kind of arise around Quant, more so like around Accenture or some other major names. Who knows? I think that Finastra could benefit greatly from having Quant technology as well. With their 8,000 plus financial institutions, they are a very large giant. But all of these names are exposed to Oracle. And by being exposed to Oracle, it's a domino effect that they will be exposed to Overledger at some point in time, because all of these major names could benefit greatly from having interoperability. And they are all a part of the Oracle Cloud, which, again, could benefit greatly from having that interoperability between all other major, tech stacks. And also, remember, the Oracle blockchain itself is picking up some, speed. And I think that this is also going to be pretty large. And when you actually look at this as well, there's some major names tied to this as well. I mean, they might not be extremely large names like everyone is so used to seeing within the space, but you look at some of their, customers, and it is centered around like healthcare, fashion. Like these are all of the industries that Oracle is disrupting with their blockchain technology. And this is only just beginning. There's going to be a lot more around this. There's financial services here, mineral sourcing, supply chain traceability. There's even invoice factoring. I mean, it's something pretty special here. And this is going to continue to grow. And the best part about this is that this is their blockchain platform. Oracle is most likely going to be utilizing Overledger to power their interoperability standards within this. And I think that that's great to see because, again, it provides you an in-depth view on the fact that, like, listen, everyone knows Oracle. Everyone knows about the Oracle name. So when these major companies do want to build something on the blockchain, they will most likely go through Oracle or some other major company that they are all aware of, which I think is great because, again, that provides, exposure to Overledger, which, like I said, it's a domino effect, especially even if you go and look at all of the partners around Oracle. You could definitely look at them. There's a few things to look at here. There's a lot of the major ones. Like you could look at some of like the, partnerships of, just some specific industries. When we really kind of look at the cloud partners, which is like the GSI partners, these are the ones that do come up, like the ones that I just showed you. But I think that there is a few other ones, but we can't really see them. I wish that there was a little bit more of a breakdown on this. It is what it is. But just remember, like Accenture, right, being connected to Oracle also has a domino effect to it because there's so many major partnerships within Accenture as well. And at some point in time, and by the way, you can kind of look at some of these, and they are very large. Like BlackRock, for an example, that's a very large name. AT&T, there's like household names that everyone knows about, and the list goes on and on around this. Like even FIS, there's so many here. It's absolutely insane. Like even Google's on here, Hitachi. Some pretty large names. But the reason why I bring this up and the reason why I talk about these domino effects is because things like this will kind of spiral down to, okay, well, here's some major names. These are some very large names as well, household names, blue chip stocks. How do we connect them all to the blockchain? Accenture does have a few interoperability connections as well. I mean, if you look at some of their, I think it's under their services. Um, I think I've seen it at least. I'm pretty sure there was a little bit around interoperability. I don't know if I could find it. Maybe I could just kind of search it real quick on their website. But they are working within this scene as well, because I think that they also see the beneficial factors around it. Let me kind of just search it real quick. Navigating interoperability in multi-cloud models, which is more so kind of centered around like cloud platforms with Oracle. And I think from there, it really kind of just goes back to a few things like, are you ready for interoperability and stuff like that, connecting blockchain ecosystems through DLT. Like, Accenture understands the overall, case here. I think that they will most likely be utilizing Overledger for, interoperability as well. I don't know if they have their own specific use case within this. It would be interesting to see what does happen, with some of these major names like Accenture, because they are a very substantial name. I don't know if they have the full-on connections on how large their connections really kind of bleed into. But I know that they were a name that we kind of, took a keen look at with Ripple and XRP, just because there was a few connections there. So yeah, I mean, like, there's over 185 partners in their ecosystem. They have 7,000 plus clients served through more than 120 countries. So they are a very large name. Will they all be exposed to Overledger? Who knows? We still need to have a confirmation between that. But these are like the large names that I am watching for. IBM already has some partnerships with some of the tokens that we do talk about, like Casper, for an example. And I think it's only a matter of time before like interoperability becomes like a major crucial thing for DLT success, which it already is. Going back to 2021, for example, the ECB did a report on interoperability and how it is crucial for DLT and post-trade processes. I think that it's crucial for the success of DLT at the heart and soul of it all. And we actually have that breakdown view over here. This is from April 2021. They do mention Quant. If we actually look at Quant Network down here, so let me actually go to Overledger. So here it is. Quant's Overledger operating system is a DLT-based system for interconnecting and enabling interoperability between DLT-based and conventional systems, which they kind of do look at that. They also do look at Chainlink, and I think that they also looked at another one here. So yeah, open source with Fusion. They also mentioned the Interledger protocol, and I think that they mentioned a few other ones too. But at the end of the day, listen, is Quant the only player around this? No, necessarily not. But I think that they are the best one around this. I think that they have been tested to the highest extent. I also think that when we really kind of look at what Quant has achieved in such a short amount of time, I think that they are going to continue to build out in this area. And by the way, when we look at CBDCs and like the ECB is preparing to launch their CBDC very soon. So I am very excited for this. I also think that this provides you a little bit of an insight on where Quant's going to be headed in the next couple months, years, and even, just where they are kind of right now. I mean, like, you kind of look at the partnerships that they have in place, and it is substantial. It really is something, to note, just how large Quant is at the current moment in time and how undervalued it actually is as well. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. If you guys are on this beautiful world, it's been Nick. Peace out, guys.